I'm here to tell you that it's time for the church to stop being neutral.
Come on.
Neutrality will not work. We can no longer sit on the fence and be quiet. The church has come to believe that if we just sit quietly and don't argue and sit in our churches and pray and sing, that this is all going to pass over. That this is all going to go away on its own. We just have to sit it out, and God will come in an army tank and blow them all away, and we will be victorious again. But folks, we are the watchmen, and the sword is on its way.
Yes.
We cannot be neutral anymore. We cannot sit idly by and do nothing anymore. We can't just hunker down and say, well, God's in control. God is in control. But He called us to be the watchmen.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He sees it all anyway.
We are to be shouting from the rooftop that there's evil and there's a better way. The positive and the negative of the message. We are to be the salt, destroying the corruption of this world and raising up the goodness of this world. And you cannot do that and be silent.
Come on. Right.
We cannot be silent anymore. Step one is tolerate. Be neutral. Be silent. Step two is the little girls in your family are lining up at a track meet. And they've practiced hard. And they've worked hard. And they're ready for this meet. And as those runners line up on that starting line and they take their position, you realize that there's a biological male who's running against them. And when that biological male wins, what do we do as Christians? We clap for them. Because we want to be loving and we want to be tolerant. And we say, that's okay. Step number 3, you go to work. And there's an email at work that says, new company policy. Every email that comes from your desk must now, underneath your name, in parentheses, post your chosen pronouns. I am Steve McLaren, he, him. And you'd say, well, then I will put down the pronouns of what God made me. He made me a he, him. And they say, that's great, that's wonderful, good for you. We don't care what you put, but put it down. That's step 3. And step 4, they will ask you to bear false witness and lie. How many of us know that we're not supposed to bear false witness? How many of us know that we're not supposed to lie? The minute you put down your pronouns and someone wants to be called a he when they're a she, or a she and they're called a he, and you're forced to do it, you are bearing false witness and you are lying.
Amen.
Think about it. Yeah.
You see, we eased into that bearing false witness. We eased into that line because we kept our heads down and say, God's going to come and spare us in the rapture. He's got to come soon, doesn't he? No, he does not. Nations have risen with God and nations have fallen without God. And we can too. Just because we're having it tough doesn't mean the rapture's coming. We're not the only Christians in the world.
Come on.
We think that we're Israel, that whatever happens with America, God's always going to love us. No, he's not. Christians have been grafted onto the root, not Americans.
Come on. Yes.
Just because we're Americans, we're not promised anything in this world or the future if we turn our back on God.
Come on.
Neutrality must stop.
putting your head down must stop. It is going to take words.
Yes.
It is going to take action.
Yes.
That no, we will not stand by the idea that a biological male can walk into a restroom or into a dressing room with biological females just because they said so.
No.
Any more than I can go to the dairy and be milked because I called myself a cow.
Come on. Come on.
Now that should hurt to think about. That's a painful thought. But is it any more ridiculous than what we're being asked to accept today?
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Is it any more stupid than what we're being asked?
Asked to accept today. It is time to be the light, to show that there is a better way. By our actions, we are going to have to firm up, toughen up, and stand up. We are going to have to, as Christians, volunteer to do some things that you darn well have more than enough time to do, and don't tell me you don't.